The following is a special presentation of the First Horizon Green Sports Zone. This is the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show. Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with South Greene Rebel basketball team. We'll recap the District 1 2A tournament wins over Happy Valley and West Greene, and then the loss in last night's championship game with Unicoi County. And we'll look ahead to this week's Region 1 tournament. But first, as always, we need to go ahead and get us a few sponsors in first. So we'll be right back after these messages here on First Horizon's Green Sports Zone. The Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show is brought to you by Gateway Ford Nissan, Tommy's Plumbing, Gary's Paint and Body Shop, and by First Horizon Bank. Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with South Greene Rebels basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with Rebels head coach Terry Hoese. Coach, how's it going?
It's going good, Tyler. How are you?
I'm doing well. We got the district tournament wrapped up. Let's run through it. We sat down last week before Happy Valley. You actually got to host Happy Valley,
Yes.
which was a weird satellite game. Pick up a big win over Happy Valley in a hot second half, and then you pick up a win over West Greene to go into last night's loss to Unicoi County. So let's jump right into it. Take me through your run in this year's District 1 2A tournament.
I've had some good individual play. As a team, we've played well, but we've had some good individual play too. I think the Happy Valley game, Jamison White put up 23 for me, and had some other good performances from Noah Wright and Gavin Dyer and Caden Fillers. But Happy Valley played us tough for a while. We didn't pull away from that game until late, about midway through the third quarter. So good game for us to get started, good game to have at home, get an opportunity to kind of knock it off a little bit of the rust and get ready to go. But that was a good game for us to get started off on. And then, of course, you go into Saturday against West Greene and had lost 3 in a row to them. And felt like my kids come to compete Saturday. We did a lot better job guarding their perimeter players. We still gave up several points to the post. Eden Lehman's had a big game, and we had a hard time stopping him. But did a good enough job on the perimeter players to kind of keep them at bay. And I was just looking back over the couple times we had played them in the season, and we cut every one of those players' production in half. So felt like we did a really good job defensively on Saturday against West Greene. And then, of course, you get into last night, playing the number 1 team in the conference and, a potential state tournament team. It wouldn't shock me one bit to see Unicoi get on down the road, but they're good. And, of course, the game went out and spotted them by 16 points, and we did do a very good job of guarding in the first quarter there. Come out the second quarter, and they extended the lead. And then we finally turned it on, and it's kind of looked like a repeat of what happened over the past couple of weeks. Get buried early and fight back. And I actually took a lead in that game last night, sent that thing to overtime, but just could not hang on.
Now let's talk about some of the individual games, because Happy Valley is a weird satellite home game.
Yep.
You really never have those. I don't think you'd ever had one of those in your years of coaching. And you host that game, and it's a rough start in the first half. Can't ever really get away from that team. And then the third quarter, Jamison Williams catches fire. He has 7 3-pointers in that game with Happy Valley, and then he carries that over into West Greene's game. But how important was it for him to come out of halftime and be that one to give you that spark in the third?
Jamison's had a really good last 3 or 4 weeks. He got a slow start on the season and was playing behind a couple other kids, but he's one of those kids that didn't give up. He's worked his tail off, and he's earned that spot, and he's come up huge. I think even last night I think he put up 15, so I think he had 23, 20, and 15 over these last 3 games. For him to come out in that Happy Valley game and play like that in the second half, it was the difference in the game. That's kind of what gave us opportunity to break away a little bit. And when he started making shots, it opened everything up for everybody else. So big kudos to him. Very happy and very proud of that kid. He's worked and he's earned it.
And then he goes into the West Greene game. Doesn't cool down one bit. Has 6 3-pointers in that game. I haven't seen the book to know how many he had last night against Unicoi County, but that Happy Valley West Greene, that pair of games right there, he had 13 3-pointers, which I don't know what kind of record there is for South Greene 3-pointers in a district tournament, or just 3-pointers in a District 1 2A tournament, but my goodness, he was creeping close to that, if not near it, with those 2 games with Happy Valley and West Greene.
And even last night, he kind of got us back in the game there in the second half. He come out in the third quarter and knocked down a couple of shots and got a steal, and he's been instrumental in what we've been able to do here lately. So been a big addition to South Greene High School basketball here in the second half of the season.
And you spoke about defense with West Greene and Unicoi County, and I want to elaborate on that a little bit more because watching that West Greene game, I didn't notice something until you pointed it out later in the game where on offense you're bringing Caden Fillers up a little bit to get Aiden Lamons out of the paint, and against Unicoi County you go to a box and one with Jackson Simmons. So elaborate on some of those defensive adjustments that you made in both of those games that entirely changed the complexion of both games.
Well, in the West Greene game, we kind of got up in the full court and tried to put pressure on their guards, make it a little tough for them to get down and not let them get into the flow of their offense. West Greene is good when they get an opportunity to set up, get Lamons and Shelton in the flow, and if those 2 kids get the ball on the paint, I don't have anybody can stop either one of those kids. So that was kind of the big deal defensively, the West Greene game. Last night, we're down 16, had to change something, and we had actually worked on a box and one over the last few days. I was in a dilemma. I told Tate last night in our interview after the game, we were kind of in one of those deals where I was in between. Do you go box and one on Jackson Simmons and take a risk on him still putting up 30 and leaving everybody else open and giving them the opportunity to beat you, or do you stay off of Jackson Simmons and kind of let him get his, which he's going to anyway, and try to just lock everybody else down? And we started out just kind of getting off of Simmons a little bit in that first quarter and trying to guard everybody else, and then of course Carter Simmons steps out and makes threes, and they get a couple of easy buckets, and then Jackson goes off for 10 himself in that first quarter, and you look up and you're down by 10 at the end of the first quarter. So made a decision right there at the beginning of the second quarter. We were just going to get up and get after it and play it box and one and try to take Jackson away as much as possible. Kid still wound up with 26 points. You can't stop him. I took 2 kids of mine, the best two defenders I have, and kind of rotated them on him to keep them fresh, and he was still able to get his. But it did change the flow of the game last night. It interrupted their offense. They weren't able to go do exactly what they wanted to do. And unfortunately for us, we lost a kid in the corner in overtime, and he did what you're supposed to do as a senior. He knocked that thing down and won them the game. So defensively, though, to get back, especially against somebody like a Unicoi County after you're down 16, last night was purely a defensive effort.
Yeah, watched Jackson Simmons Saturday against Chucky Doak. One of the most quiet 26-point games I've ever seen. He scores 26 in back-to-back to win the district championship. But yeah, Unicoi County gets the district championship. But I texted you on, I think it was Sunday, whenever we were scheduling our interview, and I said, bring back some hardware. Well, you got some hardware, just wasn't the one that you wanted to, but always nice to have some hardware here on the set after district tournaments. I know the run of 3 straight district championships comes to an end, but it's a question that I asked you after Saturday's win over West Greene. You carry on that tradition of going to 5 straight district championship games now. So knowing that since the conference has realigned that you've been in that championship every year, how fortunate are you to be able to say that?
It's all fortune and blessing. Lord's blessed us. We've had several kids graduated here over the past 5 years, and be able to take what we get in and still be able to compete and build those kids and still be able to get to that championship game 5 times in a row, man, that says a lot about your program. Doesn't necessarily say a whole lot about me, but it says a lot about your kids and how hard they work to get better. And it has become an expectation. I mean, I feel like our kids, when they come in to play here, they feel like they're coming with an opportunity to win and an expectation to win. So it's been good. The crazy part about that is, we just had that conversation at our regional tournament. Gatlinburg-Pittman last year at this time was at home, and they had one of the best players in East Tennessee. Kid gets hurt. They get upset in the tournament. They're out. You better count your blessings and be thankful for every time you get this opportunity, because there's going to come a time where it's not going to happen. So very thankful.
Last question of the recap portion. I saved the best for last because you knew you weren't going to get away from me without me asking this question. You lose to West Greene 3 times this year, and you get them the 4th time. How much better did that win feel compared to other ones, considering you've lost to a team 3 times in a season against one of your bigger rivals, and you beat them when it matters the most? How good did that one feel whenever you stepped off the court?
It felt good.
It was a cool scene.
It was nice. It is tough playing county games because at the end of the day, I see those people out in the community. I mean, I had Titus last night after the game. I congratulated him on all conference and all tournament. They're good kids, and you really do hate to see somebody lose those games. I mean, I know people hate our guts. That's been posted on Facebook multiple times. So I hate that. I hate that people have that in their hearts. But when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, it's a game. Obviously, you want to win those games. Didn't know. I mean, it's tough for you kids to kind of mentally prepare. You've been beat 3 times. How are we going to beat this bunch? But they came out and played hard. We didn't dig that hole. I felt like we started early against West Greene. So very good. But, man, it's tough playing people like West Greene and Chucky Doak in tournament games, especially. Thankful for that situation. It was an elimination. Nobody went home. But if you're in an elimination game and that happens, man, that's devastating to everybody. So feels good. Very proud. Not to take anything away from West Greene. They're a good team, and they're going to be good for the next several years. They've got a lot of good young players, and Coach Tolliver does a good job coaching them. So next year will be another battle.
It was a cool scene because I think Gavin Dyer has the ball whenever the game ends, and he's skipping over towards the bench. Jameson might actually have had the ball.
I think Jameson did.
And he was skipping towards the bench, and Gavin was skipping. The fans behind you all were excited. It's cool to see that because it's kind of one of those moments where you get the monkey off of your back, and you can kind of breathe that breath of fresh air in a more important setting. When you do it at home, it's cool. You always want to win at home, but doing it in the tournament, it was cool to see.
And everybody knew what was on the line in that tournament game. You get into that championship game, and you don't have the opportunity to wind up going to Gatlinburg-Pittman that first round. So we have to play Gatlinburg-Pittman in the second round if we can win in here on Saturday night, but you definitely don't want to play them in that first round. So that game against West Greene
had a lot of implications.
Had a lot of implications. So for my kids to step up, very happy and very proud of them.
Moving into that Region 1 2A tournament now, you've got Eagleton first game. We'll go through the whole entire bracket. We'll show you who each team plays, who you can get matched up with in your pod. But first, of course, we need to go ahead and get a commercial break first. So we'll be right back to talk about that here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone.
For over 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has proudly served the Tri-Cities with a personal touch because we're not just plumbers, we're family. From simple faucet repairs to full plumbing repiping, we have the experience and expertise to get the job done right. We also specialize in water heater and tankless water heater installations, helping you find the perfect solution for your home. Our technicians stand behind their work and always leave your space clean and spotless. Looking for a plumber who's fast, professional, and reliable? Call Tommy's Plumbing and let our family take care of yours.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect: games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected: low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
Welcome back to First Horizons Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the South Greene Rebel basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with South Greene's head coach, Terry Hoese. So moving into the Region 1 2A tournament now, you got Eagleton to start out with. Beautiful part about it that we'll go ahead and start with, you get another home game.
Absolutely. Big.
Always
especially
big.
at this point in the year.
And you're playing Eagleton, a team that has a terrific player on the floor. They've had a few rough games this year, being the 3 in that district, but looking at everything, whenever we talked about it before we started the interview, when it comes down to regions like this and it's an elimination game, it's essentially a one-game playoff in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. You start out at home with Eagleton the first game. What's your mindset going into Saturday night?
Very thankful to be playing at home one. Obviously, we play better here. Fan base will be here. Their record isn't indicative of what their talent level is. It's a tough district down there. You got the number 3 team in the state leading that thing in Gatlinburg-Pittman. Pigeon Forge finished second in the season, Cumberland Gap right there, and then Eagleton. But when it's all said and done, you look up and Pigeon Forge, who finished the second in the season, finishes 4th in the tournament. So it's very competitive. So their record's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. So we'll have to play super well in here Saturday night to advance.
And I think this is how many in a row now that you've hosted here in the first round of regions? It's 5, I guess, since
5 or
you've been
6,
in the district championship each year. But how much more special is that game? Because senior night's always special, and then you're never afforded the opportunity to play any more games unless you get this first round game in the regions until this year, of course, with the district satellite game. But how much more important is this game to not only those seniors, but for the fans to have a tournament game here at home?
It's good because the last, we beat Happy Valley here in the first round of the district, like you said, first time we've ever satellited that game. But we got throttled in here by Crockett on senior night, so it's good to get another game and leave hopefully with a positive. You always want those seniors to go out winning at home in their last home game. So big for them if we can get this W. If not, it's a 5-minute drive to the house. So it's a lot nicer than getting on a bus and driving back an hour and a half. And you know as well as I do, at this point, everybody's good.
Yep.
There are no bad teams left. So whatever happens Saturday, it's been a great season. I feel like we've got the ability to win Saturday. We've watched film already. Obviously, we're going to get prepared this afternoon and Thursday and Friday. But if it goes south Saturday, it goes south. It's been a good year, and I can't be more proud of these kids. It would be nice to get a win on Saturday and get to that 20th win. It's obviously one of our goals that we set forth in front of the season. But I think we're right now, what's that make us, 19-12 after last night's loss. So had a good year. Hopefully we can continue this thing on and get into next week.
Looking at your pod, too, matched up on the other side with District 2 champion Gatlinburg-Pittman and the 4th place team here in District 1 in Chucky Doak. So win, you'll play either of those 2 teams. And then in the opposite side, Unicoi County hosts Pigeon Forge, and Cumberland Gap will host West Greene. Winners of those 2 obviously face each other. Whoever's left at the end will be in the region championship game and have that opportunity to play in sub-state. But you get down to this point of the year, like you said, you've got 64 teams left. Anybody and everybody is good at this point, and anybody can win any of the games.
Absolutely, and it's a one game, like you said, it's a one game playoff. So you have to play your best one time at a time. So and you never know at this point what's going to happen. So looking forward to it. I love the competition. Still have that drive, and the kids still have that drive. We don't want it to be over. So I look for good things in here on Saturday.
Yeah, and you already saw how crazy the postseason is looking at district championships this week. I mean, just running through some of them, you got Unaka who upsets Hampton last night. Hancock County upsets Cosby. A team that nobody thought could lose in Unicoi County gets taken to overtime. Looking at the girls, you have North Greene led by 20, trailed by 13, cut it back to 3. Just insane basketball games that happen at this time of the year. So you got to strap in every single night. But you've got the opportunity to strap in on Saturday night as the Rebels host Eagleton here at 7 o'clock on Saturday night for the quarterfinals of the Region 1 2A tournament. If you got the opportunity to come out, tickets are $10.
$10 for adults, $5 for students.
Set by the TSSAA. Don't get mad at Coach Hoese in
That's
South
right.
Greene. But unless you've got anything else to add, that's all we've got.
That's it. Come on out here, fill this place up.
Hey, we'd like to see it rocking. We'd like to see a sellout crowd. The only times I see sellout crowds here at South Greene are for the county games. It'd be nice to see one for a game that matters more in the region tournament. So if anybody has the opportunity, come out on Saturday night.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Tyler.
Absolutely. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone.